Today, I want to talk about something that sounds like it shouldn't work. I want to talk about why having someone tell you what to make every day can be one of the most creatively freeing things you've ever done, and why I keep coming back to this specific format, even though I've been making art for years.
Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name's Jackie Schomburg. I'm an artist who's figured out that art works best when it's low stakes, low pressure, and done frequently. I'm here to give you back the creative life you thought you didn't have time for. One of my favorite ways to sneak art in to my regular life, not devoting hours and hours of time every day to art, which for most of us is just unrealistic, is I like to work small. This is my tiny sketchbook. It is about 4 inches by 4 inches. And I mean, tiny, right? It allows me to complete work in a single session. Now, here's the problem though. Most people say, well, that's great, but how do you know what to make? And that is a very valid question. Because, sure, if you know what you're making, it's not that hard to start making it, right? Most of the time. The problem with the blank page, and it's staring you back in the face, is that the problem isn't about inspiration, it's about decisions. How do I start? What do I do? What medium do I use? What do I make? Is it even worth it? Now I've wasted all my time trying to decide what to do, and I don't have any time anymore. So I guess I'll try again next time I have some time. By the time you've answered all those questions and gone through that mental loop, it's just easier to pick up your phone and scroll. I get it. I've been there. I will be there again. However, I'd like to offer an alternative. When you are using prompts to know what to make, the first decision is eliminated. Today, I'm working through creating a collage in this tiny sketchbook from a single piece of tissue paper that I had previously jelly printed onto. So this could easily be a magazine page. This could be a different piece of painted paper that I have. This could be a page that I scribbled on with crayons. What it is not as important as the fact that I have some direction because I've decided in advance I'm taking one single page, I'm going to tear it up, I'm going to glue the pieces down. That's it. When you know what you're making, your nervous system can go on autopilot and rest. I'm not thinking ahead about what am I going to do after I glue this piece down. I'm just going to glue another piece down. So that decision's already been made. Easy peasy. The only things I have to decide now is which piece to use and where to put it. But the fact that I'm gluing it down has been decided. The main piece of paper I'm pulling from has been decided. The fact that I'm using this tiny sketchbook has been decided. One of the mantras that I've adopted over the years is keep showing up. Every time we show up for something that doesn't require us to be in the mood or have inspiration to do it, we're rewriting something small about what we're capable of. So when I'm not sure what to make and I check a list of the things that I've said I want to do, or just things that are possible to do, or any kind of repetition and self-contained little assignment I can give myself, like this one. It actually creates neural pathways in your brain that changes from our old pathways of I need more time to make art. I only have 10 minutes. I can't make anything now. I might as well just scroll on my phone or whatever the other activity is that you like to do instead. I shouldn't make art. I don't have time. When we work small and have prompts that help us make the decisions, the major decisions first, Every time we do that, every at bat we have doing that will help correct that path in our brain and change it to a more flexible one that says, I have 5 minutes, I can make art. I have 5 minutes, I can glue 3 scraps down. I have 5 minutes, I can scribble on a piece of paper and make a rainbow colored something, rainbow colored blob. It really can be that simple. And I understand that when you're looking at social media and seeing artists create these magnificent masterpieces, and they are magnificent masterpieces a lot of the time, we compare ourselves to that and say, oh, well, I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to recreate, someone's amazing masterpiece that they've been working on for 3 months. Well, maybe not. But today, you're not going to create that entire masterpiece, but they didn't do it in a day either, most likely. And if they did, it's because they've had so many at-bats that they've gotten their system down, and that's their thing now because of muscle memory, and that's just what they do. That's their thing. And that's awesome for them. In order for you to get someplace where your muscle memory kicks in and it's your personal style and it comes from you organically, you just need to have more at-bats. That is literally the thing standing between you and creatively where you want to be. You need to show up, you need to get in the batter's box, you need to take a few swings, and then wait for some pitches to come across. Probably sports metaphors to a bunch of artists might not be the best, you might say, but I think we all know enough about sports ball to pick it up. The point is, if you want to make something that is huge and meaningful and masterful in your creative life and develop all these different skills and techniques, if you read about them and watch other people do them, that's not building your skill. That is getting information and taking things as input into your brain. It could have the adverse effect of psyching you out, thinking, well, they went to art school and they did this and they have 8 hours a day to paint. And then you fall into the comparison trap of, well, that'll never be me. Oh, sigh, single tear going down your cheek. But never fear. I'm here to set you straight. You don't need to have all the bells and whistles to fulfill your potential as an artist, whatever that may be for you. You cannot get there without repetition. You cannot get there without stepping up to the plate and taking swings. Even when they're small swings, they add up. So even if you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to glue torn up paper to other paper in a sketchbook like I'm doing here, it will keep those neural pathways fresh. It will build up your confidence through the evidence. Every time you show up, you're proving to yourself that you can show up. Not in theory, not someday, not if the stars align and your kids are at your aunt's house and the world is quiet and peaceful and all the other things. Every day, in the midst of your busyness, in the midst of all of the things that life throws at us, if you can find 5 minutes to make something small, you will prove to yourself that you can do this because you are. And maybe you're saying to yourself now, well, that's great, Jackie. You've thought of this prompt for yourself. I can do this prompt, but how do I keep doing this? Like, how do I just invent prompts if I'm not sure what to do? I've got you covered. The Tiny Sketchbook Reset is coming back this summer. It starts June 1st, 2026, and we are going to run it again. In the Tiny Sketchbook Reset, we take 30 days. Every single day, I will give you a video prompt with another, I guess I'll call it an assignment, but hopefully it doesn't feel like homework. Another prompt to make something in this tiny sketchbook, 4 inches by 4 inches. All I'm asking is 5 minutes of your time. You can commit to 5 minutes. You can stop after that. Whether you're done or not, whether the page is full or not. You just need 5 minutes a day. And if you can keep showing up for 5 minutes a day, you will prove to yourself that you can show up. And you can prove to yourself that you can do a lot more than you think you can do, or a lot more than you've done so far. It's a ton of fun. We have a thriving community. We encourage one another. We show up. We post pictures of our sketchbook pages on various days. And sometimes we miss days, and that's okay. You're always welcome. It doesn't matter if you're on the same day that the rest of us are or not. We show up when we can, and we create, and we celebrate it. In the sketchbook reset, I do the demonstrations and the prompts using watercolor paints. You can use any medium you'd like. You can see here I'm using Collage. Water-soluble materials will work the best with the prompts that I've chosen, but you are welcome to adapt the prompts in any way you see fit. You can use Collage, you can use acrylics, anything you like, crayons, pencils, pen. It's not about the medium, it's about showing up every day, just for 5 minutes. The prompt is the product. It's not about the watercolors, it's about the format itself. It just so happens that these tiny sketchbooks have 30 two-page spreads. So at the end of the 30 days, we fill an entire sketchbook. And I don't know about you, but until a couple years ago, I had never filled a sketchbook in my entire life. So it's not uncommon to start a sketchbook and then abandon it. I think that's probably more common than actually finishing one. But what I want for you is for you to have a finished sketchbook of 30 pages that you can have on your shelf, on your desk, as a reminder that you showed up every single day and you created art every single day for a month. There will be imperfect pages. All of them will be imperfect pages because none of us can make perfect pages. The prompts are simple. They are open to interpretation intentionally so that you can spend as little time or as much time as you'd like on them. And you'll see as we post the pages that everyone takes a different approach, uses different colors, has a different style. It makes us wonderfully unique. And because there's no one right way to have an answer to a prompt, there's also no wrong way to do it. So however you show up, it works. You get full credit if you just spend 5 minutes a day with us. Tiny Sketchbook Reset starts June 1st. It's going to take 30 days, one page at a time, one tiny page a day, and a new prompt every morning. Registration is open now. It closes May 31st, 2026. If any part of this conversation sounds like something you need, the link is in the description. I hope to see you there.